Yo, what's up, y'all? So, it's been raining. I've been sitting in the truck. You might hear it beep. You might hear the exhaust or whatever. But I've been thinking a lot and about the video I put out on the Crocker Life yesterday about not knowing what to do, this and that, and just everything. And then I just started talking about a bunch of different things and you know, with Danielle about what should we do. And it's scary starting fresh, starting over, trying something different. It's scary even considering this is how it's been. Let's completely stop and then do this. And it really got me thinking, how did I get in this position that I'm in right now? I don't know if a lot of people know the true backstory of myself. So I figured I'd put it out there. So, we'll go back. I'll do this quick, but go back to high school and younger. I was very shy. I was very nervous. Not a lot of confidence with a lot of things. I always told myself that I know I have the want and the drive. I've just never been good enough to do what I want to do. I wanted to skateboard and do BMX bikes and ramps and tricks, and I would practice and practice and practice and try, and I was never that good. I was always I was good enough to say I skateboard. I was good enough to say I do BMX. I got a guitar and I started playing guitar, and I was always good enough to say I played guitar, but I was never good, and everyone I was around was always better than me. And so I just didn't have the confidence to tell people, like, yeah, I play guitar. If they handed me a guitar, I'd be like, no, I'm not gonna play. Or if I was around people and I'm like, yeah, I skateboard, they're like, oh, here's a skateboard, dude, try. I'd be like, no. Like, I never had that confidence. Well, then I end up being in the band and in high school and everything, and we weren't good. We had fun, but we weren't good. But I knew I wanted it. I had this drive. I wanted it so bad. I would do anything. We just weren't good. So then started going to college, and a band reached out and was like, hey, we would like you to join the band, and the big kicker is you have to move to Dallas. You have to drive 8 hours from South Texas up to Dallas and join the band. You never met us. You know nothing about us other than I knew the guitar player's girlfriend for half a second at a tennis tournament I was at in high school. So I was terrified, and I just said, screw it, I'm gonna do it. I have to go tell my parents that I was living with a friend about 10-15 minutes away from home at that time. I had to tell my parents that I am no longer wanting to go to college. I'm dropping out of college, and I want to move 8 hours away and join a band that I've never even met, and I want to try to be a rock star. That was crazy. I remember standing in the kitchen telling my mom. She thought I was joking. She didn't take me serious, and I was like, no, I'm gonna do this. I was terrified to go drive in Corpus Christi, which was an hour away, because it had multiple lanes. I was used to back roads and small highways, and I remember it was spring break, 2005 or 2006, and as Jared was leaving with my friends to go to South Padre, which was like an hour-ish away, and go have fun, I was driving to Dallas by myself with my guitar amp, my guitar, clothes, and I think I had $400 in my pocket, and I'm driving away. And I left, and I was terrified. I was like, what am I doing? Didn't even have GPS back then. I had to Google Maps and write down the directions, print it out. And I was terrified. I've never done anything like that, ever. I was freaking terrified. I was the guy that never had that confidence, that I was okay enough to say that I did something, but I was never good enough to brag about myself. Well, then I get up to Dallas. It was great. We had fun. We went on tour. We made a CD. We had posters. We played shows, did all that. And then we lost our singer. I had to become the singer. I'm not a good singer, as you guys know, but I wanted it so bad that I had to tell myself, sing in the band just so you can keep going. So we did that long enough till we finally figured out this isn't going to go anywhere. And I told myself, I was just working every odd job you could think of. I worked at the UPS warehouse. I started doing land surveying. I washed airplanes by hand. I worked at a dog place. I even would go to people's houses and pick up dog poop. I handed flyers on doors. I just did all the jobs I could to make money while trying to pursue my passions. And I just started realizing this isn't gonna, I'm not gonna make it. What am I gonna do? So I was working at the dog place, and it was a job that I enjoyed. I didn't love the job. I enjoyed it because I was around dogs and animals. Clearly, that's what I like to do. And so one day we had a bad storm during the winter or whatever. And at this point, I had started. Actually, I got to go back a hair, just a hair. As I was working that job, the dog job, doing all their stuff, I had started dabbling in woodworking. When I say dabbling, I'm talking very little, in a one-car garage. And Jared and I turned like a pallet into like a wine rack that we put on the wall. And then we found an old couch. We stripped it down, made a bench out of it. We put pallets on that and made a bench, did all that stuff. And then I was starting, at that point, I had started doing video work, but very little. And I really didn't know anything. I just wanted to still do something creative that I enjoyed, but being in the band wasn't going to make it. So I started dabbling with the video side of things. Well, one day I'm working at that dog job, and it iced over real bad that winter. And I called in to work, and I said, hey, it is icy. I can't even get out of my driveway. I'm not about to drive 45 minutes to work in this. It'll take me hours if I even make it. I cannot afford, literally, I have no money to my name. I live paycheck to paycheck. How am I going to get to work? I can't. I'm sorry. And they said, you either come into work or you don't have a job anymore. And so I said, I'm not driving to work. I'm not going to risk it for this low-paying job that I've been at for several years, and I've already capped out. I'm at the highest point that I can get with this job. I'm not doing that. And so I lost my job. And at this point, Jared had already been at his job for a little bit when he worked at 811, and I was doing like the corporate gig thing. And I was not going to tell Jared that I lost my job. I was terrified to tell Jared because I knew he would flip out and be like, how are we going to pay bills? You know, this and that. We split everything. We were renting a house together. And so I just didn't tell Jared. And that fear in me, it made me work real hard. And I guess I'm a little off in timeline. So before quitting the job, I started doing video work. And that's when I started working for Bowling for Soup. Not full-time, but I did do like some of the shows, and I did some animated stuff and did lyric videos and all that, but I wasn't full-time working for the band that I got to travel and do all that stuff with. So whenever I lost my job, I was like, holy cow, like I'm terrified. How am I going to do this? So without telling Jared that I lost my job, I started doing the woodworking and started making different things that I've never made in my entire life, and posted on Craigslist, posted on Facebook Market, and I was figuring out how to make money. And so then I told Bowling for Soup, I was like, hey, I could work for you as much as I can. I will do whatever I can as often as I can, and I'll do all that. So without a real job, I started working for Bowling for Soup a little bit more, started doing more stuff. I got offered to go on tour with them. I got offered to do like full-length album lyric videos for all the songs in the video. I would animate these videos for them and put them out. I got to go on tour with them and make videos of the shows and put them out and do all that stuff. And then whenever I wasn't doing that, I was doing the woodworking, and I didn't really know how to build. So people started saying, hey, I saw this picture, can you build this shelf for me? And I'd be like, yes. I had no idea how. I just said, yes, I will do this. And so I started building shelves. The next person would be like, hey, I saw this rack that you put on the wall, can you build this? I had never done before. And I said, yes. And I would figure it out. And then I would watch these YouTube videos of how to woodwork and how to do things. And all the videos I watched, I was like, they're all right, but, you know, I'm learning, but as a videographer now, they're not that great. And so I started building stuff, and then I remember this lady asked me, can you build a table? And I was like, a table? Heck no, I can't build a table. I've never built anything that big before. I don't even know how. And she said, I want a round table. A round table? How do you make a round table? I don't even know how to do that at all. Like, not a clue. And I didn't tell her that, but in my head, that's what I'm thinking. And so I just told the lady, yes, I can do that. But if for any reason it doesn't come out how you want, I will refund your money. She said, done. I have faith in you. How does a random person have faith in me to build a table when they don't even, when I've told them I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to try my best? They had faith in me and they said, do it. So I did it. They love the table. They still have the table, and they still eat dinner around it. And I see it on Facebook all the time. And I became Facebook friends with these people, and it blows my mind that they still sit down with their family and have dinner at this table that I built with no experience whatsoever. But I had the fear in me to figure this out because I didn't want to let someone down, and I needed to make money because I didn't have a real job. So time goes on, and I did woodworking for, I don't remember how long, a while, like 2 years, or maybe a little bit longer, a little shorter, I don't know, but it was a while, and I did it full time, and I started getting more and more work with Bowling for Soup, the band, and I became their full-time guy, and I started doing that stuff. Well, then, after years of doing both, I got tired. I got burned out of always being gone. I got burned out of just building tables every day. I became the guy that built tables. I would take $100 worth of lumber, and then I would build a big farmhouse table, and I'd sell it for $1,000. I would make that in a day or 2 days, and I got to the point where, you know, I was making like $4,000 a month. And especially around Christmas, making like crazy money. Jared and I were building stuff that we had on our walls for ourselves and selling it. And we were just making crazy money because at that time was when the rustic woodworking stuff just blew up. So I took full advantage of it, and I learned a valuable lesson. If you want something bad in life, you will make it happen. This isn't just something that I started saying as far as YouTube goes or living this lifestyle. I've learned over the years, if you want something bad enough, you'll make it happen. And after doing the woodworking and the building and all that, and getting tired of being on the road, being gone, you know, I'd go on the road with the band, be living on a tour bus for like 3 months at a time, doing a Warped Tour, doing 2 weeks, take a couple days off, go out another 2 weeks, take time off, go on this show, fly to this show, do this. It became a thing to where the money wasn't amazing, but the experience was crazy. I had life lifelong memories that were made. I lived a life that people dreamed of. I met every band that I grew up watching on MTV that I loved all their albums. Every band that I wanted to be when I was in a band, I got to film them, and I got to hang out with them. I got to be around them. It blew my mind that the fact that technically, I guess I didn't quit my job. I lost my job back in the day because I said, no, I'm not going to do that for a low-paying job. I got to think about myself. I lost that. I had the fear driven in me to make myself learn how to build, learn how to do video work even better, push myself to be smart enough to how do I take $100 worth of lumber from Lowe's and turn it into $1,000 as fast as I can? How much money can I make during the holidays, because the holiday is going to be over and everyone's not going to buy presents? How do I make so much money during November, December that January and February, when it slows down, I have enough money to survive? And I started learning all these new skills. I learned how to do business. I learned how to be super creative. I learned how to believe in myself. I learned how to take the fear of something not working, the fear of not having money, the fear of crumbling. I learned how to take that and mold it into fuel to put it into my life and push me in the right direction. Well, whenever I got tired of doing all that stuff and it became monotonous and the money wasn't that great, and living on the road in a tour bus, living with 15 dudes at a time and doing all stuff just became old, I decided I'm going to go for YouTube. I'm going to try YouTube. I don't know how much money you can make. I don't know how to even make money on it. I don't know how to make a successful channel. All I know, the only knowledge I have of YouTube is watching videos that other people did. So, while doing the woodworking, at the tail end of it, I told Jared, I said, we should make some videos for YouTube. We had joked around saying that we should have a TV show. Friends of ours always said, man, y'all should have a TV show. You're twins, you're building stuff, y'all fight all the time, y'all go out and find, we would find like old tailgates and redo them, repaint them, make benches out of them. We'd do all this stuff. We'd go to flea markets, we'd do all sorts of stuff. And people always said, y'all should have a TV show. So we made TV promos that for fun, and we said we were going to shop them out to people because I did video work and all this stuff. Well, then later in life, when I started talking about YouTube and watching YouTube, and I was watching homestead people on YouTube, and I was watching all the woodworking stuff on YouTube, I told Jared, I said, I'm gonna start a channel. I'm gonna see what this is about. So we made 3 videos. I think I made 2 of them myself, and then 1 of them with Jared, or I filmed Jared making the project or something. Put them online, and they did very well. They took off. They went viral in my eyes. I think they started getting like 10,000 views, 20,000 views, 50,000 views, 100,000 views. It kind of went great. And I was like, whoa, I think I'm onto something here. I think the fact that I know how to do video work and can edit good and do this stuff, this could be a thing. And I remember looking and seeing, how do you make money on YouTube? How do you do this? How do you make YouTube a career? Is that possible for someone, or do you have to be on YouTube for years and years and have 1 million subscribers and all this stuff? And I found out you need 4,000 hours watch time, and then you need 1,000 subscribers. Well, because those videos did really well, I already had over, I think, like 2,000 subscribers, and the watch time was pretty close to getting monetized, I think, or if not enough, I don't remember. But I was like, all right, this could be something. The fear of not having the job doing the video work or woodworking, I think, will push me into doing YouTube and push it hard enough that I could do it. Well, I was watching YouTube and watching homesteading and stuff, and Justin Rhodes said, My advice to people if they want to start a YouTube channel is to do a video every day for a year. And I told myself, that's what I'm gonna do. What's the worst gonna happen? I do all this for a year and it doesn't work? Big deal. I was already at the end of doing everything else that I wanted to do. So I started doing these videos and they were terrible. You can go back and watch them. They were terrible. They were not good. I recently went back and watched some of them. Danielle watched some of them with me and they were absolutely terrible. I was always behind the camera, not in front of the camera. I never liked to talk in front of people. You put me in front of people, I'd freeze up. I didn't know how to talk. I didn't know how to keep a conversation going by myself. How do I look in a camera and talk? As you guys know now, I have figured that out over the years. But at first, I didn't know how to do it. But if you want something bad enough, you will make it happen. And so started doing these videos, started gaining some traction. Back then, YouTubers in the homesteading niche didn't really go live. They would go live every now and again. It was super, super rare. And when they would go live, we would freak out. We'd be like, oh, so-and-so's live, come in here. And we would get on there and comment. It was an experience. So starting to do YouTube, doing it for a year, and or trying to do it every day for a year. And I'm posting every day. And I'm like, man, I need a break. I need a day off. I haven't had a day off in a long time. What if we go live and it gives me a break from doing a YouTube video, but I still put out a video, and then we get to talk to some of the people like we were excited when these other people would randomly go live. So we started doing that, and I think we had like 10 people watching, 15 people watching, 20 people watching. I would write down these massive notes. If people aren't in there talking, what can I talk about? And I'd write down 10 questions I think people would ask, or went through comments and wrote down what people were asking me. And it became a thing where I would literally be terrified to go live. But I forced myself to go live every Friday, every week, and it got better and easier and better and easier. More people jumped in, got to know more people. It did better. It built an audience. And some people don't like this, but I think it's the truth. No one did that. At that point, nobody did that. Nobody went live on a consistent schedule in the homesteading niche, at least that I watched. And I watched pretty much all the channels. So I started doing that, and it became a thing to where they knew every Friday the Crockers would go live. And at that point, I think we were called the Crocker Homestead, and started doing all that stuff. Well, then it kind of became a thing, as you guys know now, that every channel in this niche goes live all the time. It became a new trend, or whatever you want to call it, or maybe it just became the norm. I don't know. But it became a thing to where, because of going live all the time, it definitely helped. My phone's about to die. It definitely helped with the talking and all that stuff. And it helped get to where people who watch got to know us. Well, I guess the moral of the story is, that's kind of my backstory. I had no idea what I was going to do. All I knew is I had the fear in me to get it done and to do it. And after all the things I've been through and being on YouTube for 5 years now and everything, I've learned if you want something bad enough, you'll make it happen. And you also have to take massive risk, and you also got to put everything on the line to make it, because it puts that fear into you to where you say, if I don't make this happen, I'm screwed. And that is the biggest amount of fuel you will ever have. So if anybody out there, I guess this is the reason I'm doing this, I know all of y'all were in my position. You had a job you hated. You had a job that wasn't making much money. You didn't think you were going anywhere. You didn't think there was a future. You didn't think anything. You never thought you could do anything on your own. You didn't have the confidence in yourself because you were never that good to be confident. I am very confident in myself now. I'm not saying I'm the best. I do joke saying YouTube King because that's what people called me, trying to bash me. But I have the confidence now in what I do. I have the confidence knowing if I want something, I'm going to make it happen. I have the confidence in knowing that whatever I set out to do, it will happen. It may not happen today, tomorrow, the next day, or whatever, but it will happen, and I will keep going. So I hope one of you, at least one person out there, sees this video, it pumps you up, and it knows, hey, if you're down here and you're not happy, you could be up here and be happy. You just have to take a massive risk it all, go for what you want, but don't risk it all if you're not going to put everything you have into something. I put my entire life on the line. I risked everything in my life, and it put me to where I'm at, and I couldn't be happier. I found a life that I love. I have been stressed, but I'm figuring it out, figuring that side of it out. I found a life that I love. I found a soon-to-be wife that I absolutely love, and I found someone in my life that pushes me and allows me to go after the crazy things I want in life. I could text her, she's at work, and be like, hey, I came up with this crazy idea. She'd be like, go for it. She has the faith in me to let me run and go, and I absolutely love that. I didn't have that in the past, and I have that now, and to have someone like that in your life that truly lets you run and go after your dreams and risk and take risk because they believe in you, that is amazing. Alright guys, my phone died. I have it plugged in, that's why it's real low. I have a real short cord. But the moral of the story is, try to find somebody in your life that will support you. And I'm lucky enough that it's Danielle. It could be anybody. I'm lucky enough also that it's you guys. But also, if you don't have anybody, be it for yourself. That's what I was back in the day. I basically had enough confidence in myself, even though I wasn't very confident, to go for it, and then enough want to go for it and to get it. So, moral story, go for what you want in life. Use the fear as fuel. And just like myself, I had nothing. I had no confidence. I had not a lot going for me. And I wanted to change my life, and I did. And if I could do it, literally anybody else can. You just want to want it bad enough.